look to your right
Is
corner,
it the ribs?
that's the spinal cord of the human being.
You know who he was having an affair with, right?
Camilla
Yes.
Harris? Oh wait.
This man just said Camilla Harris, y'all.
Look at that.
So they
Look
want
at her walking him like they're making him like this guy's like the Joker or something. Like, I already am scared of the ocean. Now you have to worry about mutant sharks underneath you. You see the orb?
Bro,
So there's a light. So those are orbs,
that?
and that's in the middle of the sky. That's not a plane. Look at that.
And then
The
it goes
drone just
down.
goes down. Like if it got shot or it got burned or something.
The CIA was on one side telling the prostitute what to do and everything, and then the prostitute and the guy were like on the other side.
Bruh, they had two-way mirrors? Welcome to the Overthinkers podcast, where we talk about conspiracy theories
And stories.
My name is Marco.
My name's Melissa, and let's get into it.
Have you heard of Flight 571?
No,
No?
I don't think so.
All right, so this is gonna be a good one. So, in Flight 571, it was pretty much like it was a flight from Uruguay, and it was a flight with I think like a rugby team or something like that, and it crashed over like the Andes in October 13, 1972, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was carrying in total 45 passengers. And from the flight from Uruguay was heading towards Chile. And the reason the aircraft crashed in the mountains was because I think they were saying that the pilots they messed up where they were, and also the weather, it was really snow. It was really it was really snowy up there. And so out of the 45 passengers that were on board, 12 died upon impact already. So they were already dead, right? And then out of the survivors, it was 30 something in total.
Mm-hmm.
They had to survive the snow, obviously the low temperatures, avalanches, and not only that, obviously if you're in a flight like that, you're not gonna have food for months.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So the after a while they started eat each other.
Yeah.
But the thing is, obviously they wouldn't fight each other and kill each other. They would only eat the people that were already dead.
Yeah. I think it was the movie Society.
Yeah, there was also it's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's called Society of the Snow. It was I saw it and it was a really it was honestly pretty good. It was pretty good.
Yeah, and so so obviously once you die, because you know how obviously all the people were they ran out of food after a couple of days, or because I think they were stranded there for a couple of months, 3 months, something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
And when the crash happened, there was teams of rescue, but they called it off after a couple of days. Mm-hmm. And so obviously these people were stranded there for 3 months. So the supply of food, snacks and all that were already on board, were not going to last. And so what they started doing was they started eating each other.
I know,
that's pretty crazy. And not only obviously since it's in the snow, obviously the meat of the humans will not rot, so it'll be I guess fresh because it's ice.
Yeah. And then in the movie when they were talking about eating people as a last resort, there was so many ones that were oh, I'm not gonna eat anyone no matter what, but in the throughout in the end of the movie they ate because it was the only thing that
but that's the thing, when you're in a situation like that, you say that in the moment, but then when you're all right, if I don't do this,
then I will die, I'm
gonna pretty much die. And not only that, but once you're dead, they're gonna eat you as well. Imagine that. They're damn, okay, I gotta eat somebody because if I die, obviously from starvation or low temperature, whatever, they're gonna eat me.
That was
imagine thinking that before you die. You're okay, I know I'm gonna die, but then they're gonna eat me right after. Oh, I can't imagine. And then so obviously throughout the whole 3 months they were facing temperatures negative Celsius and all that, and then the avalanches and starvation. They and the rescue was called off after a couple of days. They decided to they're okay, we're pretty much losing hope, the whole everybody who survived, they're pretty much losing hope. And then they're they chose 2 survivors, and the names are Nando and Roberto. And I guess they chose in between whoever survived. These 2 guys are gonna be the chosen ones to go find help, right? And mind you, they don't know where they're at. They don't know where the next farm or anything, right? So Nando and Roberto, they trekked for about 10 days. So mind you, this is like thick snow. This is not just like,
No, yeah,
small
for
snow.
sure.
So you're like knee deep in snow. So they took like 10 days, and total they only got to 38 miles. But eventually, because they're going up, down
Mhm.
mountains and ridges and all that. But eventually they did find like a shepherd of like a farm for
Yeah.
cows. And when they obviously, like, when they found them, they asked for help, and then that's when they got rescued, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, to the rescue people with the helicopters. And by the time they actually got rescued, only 33 people. So out of the 30 people that survived the plane crash on impact, only 16 people were rescued alive. So it went from 45 that died, 45, right, in total
Mhm.
people, to 33 people who survived on impact, and then only 16 people were rescued. So like by the time that the plane crashed, all the way from the time that they were rescued, only 16 people were actually rescued alive. Imagine how many, like,
That's pretty crazy.
it's pretty crazy. Not only, like, I can't imagine being in a situation like that. Like, yo, like, to survive, you have to eat, or like I said, they're gonna eat you. Not only that, like, I'm pretty sure the nights were like hella cold, and
No,
they were
yeah,
like, how would they
yeah.
sleep? Obviously, they slept inside, but like,
Yeah.
you don't know. Like, you always think, like, if I was in that situation, I'm like, damn, like, am I gonna get rescued tomorrow?
Yeah, you're
Next
like,
month?
I
Next
feel like
year?
in that situation, you're like constantly thinking about like,
Like, how can you sleep, or how can you think,
Yeah.
like, in the right state of mind? Because you're like always thinking, I'm trying to get out of here,
no, because like if I was in that situation, I would like think like, oh, like low key, like I don't think I'm gonna get out of here, or like I don't know if I'm gonna like get rescued, like what's gonna.
And not
go
only
on.
that, if the two people didn't like the people I just said, if the two people didn't find the shepherd of the farm or whatever, they would have never
They would have never been rescued.
rescued. And then not only that, you will have your high hopes on the guys actually finding them, and then giving them back in the airplane. Like, damn, we don't know if they're dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the hopes is just like, that's the last hurrah. You know what I mean? The last hope before, because like once you give in, it's like, I don't care about dying. You know what I mean? Like, you just stop caring everything.
Yeah, the whole thing is like pretty crazy. Like surviving in like those like temperatures and everything.
Be honest, if you were in the situation,
No, honestly, about
okay, what would you do if you're in the exact same situation, right? And you're crashed, and you're one of the 35 that survived. Would you do it?
would it do what like
Like, there's no more food.
eat people?
Like, obviously not the alive people, right? You wouldn't kill them and all that, right? But like the people who were already dead, would you, like, obviously you have to eat something, right?
I don't know. I feel like it would be like a really hard situation to think about it because like I'm thinking about like in two ways. Like if I'm thinking of like, oh, I'm not gonna survive, then I might as well die without eating people. But if I'm in the mindset where like I want to survive, I want to get out of here, then I'll most likely like eat people.
So you would do it?
I would do it if like I had really like high hope of like getting rescued.
Yeah. So I don't know if you know, but this is a really famous picture, right?
Mhm.
And so in this picture, can you see anything specific? Anything?
Oh wait, I think I heard about this. It's like, aren't they hiding like?
If you look to your right
is
corner,
it the ribs?
yeah, no, that's not the rib. That's the spinal cord of the human being, and it's all cleaned out. So that's a human being's. That's the photo I was taken when they were rescued. So that's like one of the first photos when they were rescued. So when they were rescued, they took that photo like to show like, hey, these are the guys. But imagine like you.
Wait, I thought that photo was like of them like because one of them had a camera. Like in the movie, it showed like one of them had a camera and like.
Oh, it's probably that. Then did the one of the people had the camera?
Yeah, he had a camera, and then like I remember like there was like he was like, oh guys, like get together, like let's take a picture.
And these guys are taking pictures, and the spine is just right there.
Well, it's just like they really.
Oh yeah, they weren't thinking about it.
Like think about it, because like they're like they had to do this for survival.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had no other choice. Because I think in the movie also they like try to like melt the snow to like get water, but like it's still like they were like on like last resources and like how to do it.
If honestly, if I was in their situation, like being stranded there, I would do it. But like, I'm be honest, I would do it. But like, because I think what they were doing is obviously when they're eating it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They put ice over it so it wouldn't like
Rot?
no,
Or, like,
they'll
what do you
put
mean?
ice over it so that it'll be more gentle like when they're eating, because you know when you're eating it, the tenderness and all that, you
Oh,
know,
yeah,
it will feel
yeah.
weird, you know.
Yeah.
And but if I was stuck,
Would you do it?
would I? I think I would, but I'll do it to a certain extent. Like for example, like if I'm doing it for like let's just say for example 2 months, and there's no signs of being rescued, I'll just like I'll probably throw in the towel to be honest, because you're like you're doing it for 2 months and nothing is like there's no hope. Let's just say for example like if those two guys given 2 weeks right for those two guys after they left, and I'm one of them, one of the crash people that survived, and they already left, and there's been 2 weeks and no rescue. Well, I'm like. That's like
Yeah,
you gotta know when
you're dead.
I guess to quit. I don't know.
No, you know what? Also, like I remember happening in the movie was like, I think one of them died. Like he didn't die on impact, but he later on died like throughout surviving. But he told one of the guys like, if I die, like you guys have my consent to eat me.
Oh yeah. Oh.
So would you like if you were in that situation and you throw in the towel?
Well, that's the thing. Like if I get consent and I say no, what the hell? Like
no,
what?
No, but also I feel like I don't know. I feel like them being them would like.
You want me to be honest? Like if let's say if we were both, if my brother and sister were in there, and I survived and they didn't, you know what I would? I wouldn't eat you guys. I would just in the middle of the night. I'll probably throw you guys over the hill or something. I don't know. Well, so that you guys don't be eaten by the other survivors.
So you would throw your dead sister or brother over the hill so the other survivors wouldn't eat.
Yeah, or hide you. Okay, imagine this, right? Wait, imagine this,
bro. What?
Or like hide you, because think about it, right? You guys are dead. I'm alive. Yeah. I have to eat, right? But obviously, all the other people who survive are going to eat the corpses. And if you guys are already dead, how am I can't like
you can't
grab your mind of like you getting eaten by the people that I'm next to, and I have to like be right next to them. Like you don't think I'm just gonna be like?
Well, that's what like they like think about it. They had to go through that, and I know.
But it's different. It's different if you guys eat people that you guys don't know. But they just say you're one of the ones who are eating, and you know.
We know, but they knew them. They knew them.
But if it's like your brother, sister, your mom, or your dad, like if it's like a rugby team and it's your teammate, that's different. But I'm talking about like family, like blood. I don't know. I can't do it.
Really?
I would just throw you guys off the hill or hide you guys in a tree, and then when they wake up, hey, what happened to the two bodies? Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know. Like the wolves took them. I don't know, and then just start eating the other ones.
All you guys are in the plane.
I don't know. That's my take on. That's what I would do.
Really, low key, like I'll be like, y'all can like do it. Like if I die, like what am I like? You know, yeah. I don't know how to say it.
I don't know. That's my take on it. But like I said, like that was pretty crazy. How like out of the 45, only like I would say 30 something survived. Only 16 were rescued. Imagine like seeing the like when the helicopters are coming to you. After months of like hope that there's hopefully that's gonna be rescued, and seeing the helicopters come right to you, like, oh damn.
Yeah, and
I just imagine if somebody died the night before.
What do you mean?
Like somebody the day before they got rescued, they're like, I call it quits. And the day after that, they got rescued. Oh my god. That's what I'm saying. Like we can talk about that now, but when in a situation like that, you're like, I have to eat or I die.
Yeah, basically. And it's like think about it, like they were thinking they were gonna go to like somewhere else, but like
I always gotta be prepared for that. Nobody's prepared for that, you know. But yeah, that is flight 571.
Of course, you know Princess Diana, right?
Yeah.
Like who doesn't? And the thing is that like everybody loved her. She was like she would visit a lot of countries and like
she was very well known because she'll like visit like Africa, Europe, and all the like the poor countries. Yeah.
And she would like show a lot of like help and support for many things. And she was obviously like the way that she got into the royal family was she obviously married Prince Charles, right? Which is like today is the king, right? But their relationship started like being rocky around like the 90s when it was like it was known that like Prince Charles was having an affair, And you know who he was having an affair with, right?
No.
Really, right? Like, he was with Camilla.
Camilla?
Yes.
Harris? Oh, wait. Camilla?
Get out right now.
Wait, Camilla? Wait, Camilla?
This man just said Camilla Harris, y'all.
Wait, they
No,
who?
bro. Who's the queen right now?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't keep up with the royals, bro. I don't keep up with the royal queens and all that.
Oh my god.
Okay, so Prince Charles.
Prince Charles had an affair with the queen today.
Oh, okay, got you.
Right? So he was cheating on Diana.
Wait, but I thought the queen died.
What are you talking about, British?
Oh no, okay, I'm tripping.
Not Queen Elizabeth.
Like I said, I don't follow these
Oh
these
my
people.
god.
Okay,
Oh my god. Anyways, guys. But we all know that.
All right, come on, Prince Charles.
But we all know, like, this is not a laughing matter, but we all know that Princess Diana died. She died in Paris on August 31st, 1997. And like, do you know how she died?
I think she had a driver, right? She had a driver, and obviously she's in the back. And I think, from what I know, the driver went into like a pillar or something like that.
So basically, she was in a car crash, and then her driver like drove into a pillar in a tunnel, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people have been saying that like there's like something's weird about her death is the thing, because like obviously like throughout her relationship, the whole royal family, like the Queen Elizabeth and all those, like did not like Princess Diana. Like, do you know that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard stories about that.
Like they would like mistreat her and like make her like, you know, like not wanted. But so a lot of people were saying like, what if this was the cause of like the royal family? Like they killed Princess Diana because like they didn't want her no more. And the thing is that also during this time, she was also with like another guy, right? She was another guy, and then they were saying that like she was gonna marry the guy, or there was also rumors that she was also pregnant with his kid.
So essentially, they were both cheating on each other.
Well, yeah, they kind of like broke off their relationship, but they didn't do it officially.
Oh, it's like to the public, because you know.
Yeah, because like, you know, it's the royal
family. Wasn't I think I remember wasn't there cameras like in the tunnels or something like that, and like the cameras were not working that day or something like that?
Looking, I don't know. I didn't do that.
Oh, okay, but I'm pretty sure like but yeah, from what I heard from Princess Diana, like. They have the power to do it. You know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do?
They're the royal family.
What are you gonna do? Like, arrest the queen, arrest the king? Like, no, that's not how it works. Like, they have the power to, you know, whack somebody. You know.
And it basically because like Princess Diana was known to like ignore like the royal like rules. Like she would do whatever she wants, right? So because it was like this, and because she was also with the guy. It was probably like the reason why the royal family.
Because obviously, like when you're like married to someone like that, for example, like Charles and all that, you're expected to act a certain way or dress a certain way or do things. There's certain things you can't do because you're part of the royal family.
Definitely.
And obviously, if you do things against that and you're in public and doing that, that can be a bad look to the queen and king. You know.
And then there's also like another reason that like another theory why they killed her was because Prince Charles just wanted to get rid of her. Because, like, he wanted to marry Camilla. Not Camilla. But Prince Charles wanted to marry Camilla. So, she, like, there's a theory that Prince Charles, like, wanted to kill, like, and get rid of, like, Diana. So she can, like, or he can marry her.
And then that was, like, in the, when she was killed, she well, not killed, but when she was, like, when she died, I was, like, in the 80s, right? 70s?
It was in the 97.
97.
Which is like,
and they were pretty young. Obviously, her both sons were pretty young.
Yeah, Harry and William.
But that would be pretty weird, right? Let's just say, for example, if she did get whacked by a royal family, and you having obviously her funeral.
Yeah.
Like imagine what's going through your mind. Like, damn, it's just like we're the ones responsible when we're here. It'd be awkward. Well, in their minds, you know what I mean? That's what I would be like if I do that to somebody, and next thing you know, I'm at their funeral, like. It'll be awkward, you know.
And then also like the public's reaction to her death was like they like went up to the palace and they like did the flowers and everything.
Well, because everybody loved who.
No,
like,
yeah, she definitely. But there's also a picture of like Queen Elizabeth seeing the whole thing, and then I feel like what you're saying, like knowing that like oh like I was the reason they like killed her, like dude, like it's just like pretty crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, like if they actually want to do it, they're the king and queen.
Yeah.
You know, they have the power. All you gotta do is like, you know, just. I'm pretty sure they know certain people to do that. You know, and make it look like an accident as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you heard? I'm pretty sure because this is like going viral. You know, currently right now on TikTok and news. Have you heard of the CEO from the United Healthcare that got?
Yeah, it's
killed?
all over like TikTok and like the news.
Yeah. So essentially, what happened, right? So essentially, what happened was that he's the CEO, obviously, of the healthcare. So I think the healthcare he's a CEO for, he's like it's one of the biggest in the United States, and he was murdered outside the hotel. I think in Manhattan or in New York. And so essentially, in the morning, he was walking like around early in the morning, like 6:30, I think, or 6 a.m. And as he was walking out of the lobby, because he was going to a meeting, I think like an investor meeting, a guy just walked right behind him.
Yeah.
And he had obviously he was hoodied and all that. He just walked right behind him and just
shot him in the back.
Shot him in the back. I think he got shot in the leg, but don't call me that. I think he got shot in the leg as well, but he got shot in the back. But there's a video, right?
No, yeah.
That I'm gonna show you. There's a video.
I've seen like the start of it, but like not the whole thing.
There's a video that that shows that like while he got right behind him, the gun jammed. So
really?
At this point, let's just say at this point nobody has caught him, right?
Yeah.
Obviously we know who the subject is now, but at this point in the cam footage, nobody knows who he is, and you can see clearly, like for example, like look at this one. He just comes right behind him and just
oh yeah.
And while he's doing that, the gun jams.
Yeah.
And come to find out, he just unjammed it real quick. He figured it out because that's hard. Like if you don't really,
like,
that's why the police at this time they don't think it was well now they know who it is, but at that time they were like, we don't think it's just a random joke. You know what I mean? This is a like a hitman or he was sent with somebody because like a lot of people in that situation will like panic. You know what I mean?
Or they would probably like run away
or like damn, I'm done. I'm not gonna do this. But he like unjammed it and then he still finished the job. So as he was walking down to go to the meeting, it was a silencer as well. So it was like an old pistol, and he also had a silencer. And as he was walking out, he just right behind him. He just came right behind him and just killed him. And I think they were interviewing the lobby people, like the doorman and all that, and they were saying that he was out there for a while, like he was across the sidewalk or he was like sitting down somewhere and he was like waiting for him, like if he knew he was gonna come out. But the thing that's also sus is that where are his bodyguards? So you're telling me you're the CEO of one of the biggest healthcare and you're walking, and this is New York and Manhattan, so anybody can just like on the sidewalk, anybody can just walk sidewalk. You don't have any bodyguards? And obviously watching your back or anything, like I don't know. This is like somebody
for like him to be like a CEO and like not having bodyguards is like pretty weird. But I can like also see that like if he has had like no attempts like this before, then he would probably think, oh, like I'm probably like good, like people don't really know me that much, like I'll be fine with that bodyguards. But then like but also I would assume too that like nobody, maybe they know who he is, but they don't know he's there at that time or he's walking out at that time. But this guy knew he was like somehow gonna walk out at that time or waiting for him for a long period of time for him to come out. And so after he used a suppressor because obviously no one's gonna hear that. Well, they're gonna hear the shot, but not like a like a regular sound. So he used the pistol suppressor, used it right behind him, walked right behind him and used it. And this is where I was like, when I watched that video, I was like, oh, this guy is smart. Because if it was a regular Joe, you would just hop in the car and then gone. Because mind you, this is like New York or Manhattan where there's a lot of cameras. So like facial recognition, the ID, like, where your car drives a certain way and it recognizes the license plate, it reads it, So what this guy did was he used a city bike. I think it was a city bike. Oh, the ones that you can rent?
I think so. Or his personal or one you can rent. And then he used a city bike to use like the back way. Because you know how in New York and Manhattan, they have like alleys and all that. He used the alleys. And he already knew where he was going. And in the direction he was going, if you know Central Park, right? The big park in New York. He used he went to that Central Park because he knew once I get in there, I'm gonna be lost because there's no cameras in the park, and the authorities lost him. Because you know how like the FBI and all that got involved, right? They were like obviously tracking his movements to the camera. Okay, we saw him here, but this is the last time we saw him, and the last time I saw him was like a straightaway to go into the Central Park, and come to find out that when obviously after a couple of days of the same night, they were searching the park, like obviously for him, but obviously he was long gone because there's no cameras, you know? Because you can just go to Central Park and just take your stuff out. Because I guess he was wearing a backpack and a jacket, and he could just take it off and it looks like a regular Joe, you know what I mean? And so kind of find out they were searching Central Park, and they found the backpack. And in the backpack, this how I know this guy thought it out. In the backpack they found that he was wearing, they found Monopoly money. And then soon after that, they also found that in the bullets he used, there was 3 words like deny, defend, and like another word. Essentially, it's like the motto for like insurance companies, like how to do legal. Yep. So it's like deny, defend, and then another word. But it's pretty much like the motto of how like the health insurance does to like, you know, their people who pay for it. How to like draw out the process with lawyer fees and all that. And also come to find out it was once they caught him, right? Because I think the guy was called his name is Luigi. Yeah, Luigi, right? And then the reason how they caught Luigi, I think it was like 5 days after they caught him, because this is so funny. They caught him because you know, obviously it was a hotline number, right? To call like, hey, this is because they have not facial recognition, but like a picture of his like his forehead and all that and his eyes. And they were like, this is the guy who we saw on camera and all that. We're going to put like a hotline number to call. And then the reward was like $60,000. I think $60,000. And 5 days later, my boy Luigi, well, not say my boy, but like the guy Luigi, he was at McDonald's. And the reason why he got caught was because an employee from McDonald's not recognized him, but he was like, oh, he looks really similar to the news, because this is everywhere, right? Yeah. And this employee, they called the hotline number, and they're like, hey, this person looks so like familiar to like the photos. And then obviously like the FBI and everything, when you know they went there, they caught him. And this is where it doesn't make any sense to me. They caught him with everything on him, like the gun that was used, a backpack, and like hella like sus stuff that they found on him. And then that's why now he's in custody in New York now. And obviously after finding all the gun, all that, the gun is a ghost gun. So you know what a ghost gun is? So a ghost gun is pretty much you can't track it. There's no serial number. And then also it was a ghost gun because it was a 3D printed gun. Wait, what? So it's a 3D printed gun. So you print it out. So you know those machines? Yeah. Because you know how we're getting advanced technology, right? Yeah. There's printers that print stuff in 3D. Yeah. And this guy, because he was, true fact, he was also a valedictorian, I think, for his class. So this guy was smart. He actually thought it out, the whole process, right? But like I said, he used with the suppressor, 3D gun. So he printed out the gun. And like I said, he wrote those words on the bullets. Like I said, this guy is really thought it out. And he got caught by a McDonald's employee. Yeah. And then come to find out, right? The McDonald's employee did not call a hotline number. He called 911. So he might not even, the person might not even get the reward money. Did he call the hotline? Yeah, because he called a hotline number. So that's what they're saying. Like, well, you didn't call, it's a tip, but you didn't call a hotline number. You called 911. And so after that, because you know how a lot of people like, obviously I don't want to say supported the guy for doing it, but like the healthcare CEO was in charge of like denying a lot of like people. Because for example, like if your family member had like cancer and all that, like they can get denied, even though it's like it meets the requirements for getting the claim. You know,
Yeah.
when people file the claim, it will get denied. Like, no, and then your family member has cancer and then they die because the claim didn't go through because they got denied. But have you seen? I'm gonna show you a video. So have you seen how they walked them out from New York?
No, but I think I've seen pictures.
Before I show you this video, so essentially what happens is they never done this for nobody, but I think there's a reason. I'll tell you after this video. But essentially what happens is, and there he's in New York, right? Because now this is a federal. So the feds are taking this case now. So this is not state level. This is federal level now. And then so this is federal level now. And so what they've never done this before, because they're trying to show off for like the feds and all that, the FBI and all the agencies. And when they're showing off, you can see that in the video, they drop him off in a helicopter, and it's like the mayor and the FBI, right? So look at this video. So they're dropping him off, right? This is New York, and they're dropping him off. Look at that. Look at what he's wearing. A jumpsuit. The orange jumpsuit with the handcuffs, and they're all walking him down. And you can see one of the guys, the AR, they're like, hey, yo, this is how we're going to walk. And they're walking towards, obviously, like the vehicles are going to take him to the prison area, right? Or to the court. Look how they're walking him. And they make sure he's able, nobody's in front of him to block the camera views. Look at that. So they want to walking him like they're making him like this guy's like the Joker or something, like from Batman or something. Like they're making him look like for me it's like a whole like publicity stunt. Like, hey, and not only that, I don't know if you know, but it just came out that they're trying to, obviously what he did was murder, right? Yeah. So in my mind it would be like first degree murder, but what they're trying to charge him is as a terrorist. So I don't know if you know, but if you charge like a terrorist, you don't really have like rights like that, I think. Yeah. And then that's life. That's not like.
But like that's not a terrorist though. That's just a murder.
So this is my point. So I think the reason why they're trying to charge him as or treat him like a terrorist is because who did he murder or who did he kill?
A CEO.
A CEO. And so I think that they're trying to send a message, like I don't know if they're elites or anything, right? But they're trying to send a message like, hey, if you guys mess with us, or if you guys keep doing this with like the CEOs and all that in charge, or the people in charge, you're gonna get charged with terrorist instead of first degree murder. And then I think essentially what they're trying to do, they're trying to make him the example for everyone, because you know how everybody was like, yo, we're cheering him on and all that. And I think they're trying to set the example of like, hey, if you guys do this, this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna be treated like a terrorist, even though you're not. You just committed, a murder.
It's just murder. Like it's not.
But I think that's what they're doing. They're trying to like the elites or like whoever has powers. Like, yo, we gotta stop this now. Because think about it, what's gonna stop from other people doing this to the CEOs?
Yeah. No, you know what's crazy is like, and I think it's also in New York. They posted wanted posters of other like CEOs. Of, like
it was actually the not the CEOs but executives of the healthcare. And like I said, like. Those, they can have bodyguards, but like, at the end of the day, you still gotta walk in the sidewalk, walk to your car. Like you're always gonna be watching over your shoulders. Like anybody, a random person could just search up, hey, yo, who is the executive for this or the CEO for this? Oh, okay, and then just do it. That's why I think that in this thing that happened, they're trying to make an example to make sure it doesn't
so make sure like
escalate.
Don't do it. Yeah, that's like pretty crazy.
Yeah, and that was pretty much. And then currently, right now, obviously, it's going viral on TikTok and all that.
Yeah,
in the news.
It's like all over the news and all.
And I think his next, I think his hearing is next month, like in late January. So I mean, more than likely, to be honest, like these are so like I said, you know how I said he's dealing with the feds.
Yeah.
So the feds, they have unlimited money.
No. Yeah.
So they just say if they lose in one like case, they can try them again for another thing. Because like I said, in the state it's different. The state doesn't have unlimited money, but the feds like. Obviously, if they really want to like get him, they're gonna like invest all their money into the prosecutors and all that. Yeah. But it's pretty crazy how like this thing happened. They caught him. They caught him by a McDonald's worker, bro.
No, what I find crazy is like he had a like monopoly like money in his.
Well, he was like
the thing is that like the crazy thing is like this was all planned out and he knew like every step of it. And he even put like the clues and like the bullets and like the monopoly money, which is like really like crazy and like that's like because like that's like next level like thinking. That's like crazy.
The thing is like, I think his mind was, I'm not gonna get caught, but I want to make fun of them. I'm gonna give them like crumbs. Like here you go. Here's
like something to play with.
Something to play with. Like, hey, you have evidence, but I'm making fun of you while you're looking at the evidence, stuff like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what happened to the CEO of the United Healthcare. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Have you heard of like the mutant sharks that are going like popular on TikTok right now?
Wait, mutant sharks?
Yeah, like sharks that like have mutated and stuff like that.
This better be no like Sharknado movie next scene on Netflix or something like that. Sharknado 3 or something.
No. This like first started in 2015 when like scientists like they discovered in like underwater volcano. And like this like underwater volcano is like in the South Pacific, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they found that like inside this volcano there would be a lot of sharks. Like it would be a home to a lot of sharks. And like the two sharks were the hammerhead shark,
bro,
right? And then the silky shark. I don't know. It's just they all look like sharks to me. But anyways, they would all live inside the volcano. So because of this, they adapted to like the heat and like just the whole like the environment. So think about it, like that already makes them like a mutated shark. Like they adapted to these hot like
and not only that, maybe like if they're mutated, maybe they can mess with the DNA. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Inside the fish. So like
think
whenever
about it, like no, and then if these like mutated sharks like reproduce, like think about like
that's what I was saying. So maybe when they have like offspring and all that,
yeah,
their babies can be more mutated, you know what I mean? Because their DNA can be messed. No, obviously, like you know how it happens, like when like animals have like affected by radiation, changes like their chromosomes and like all that. Like maybe that can happen, you know? Mutated sharks.
But this all happened in like 2015, right? But then earlier this month, the NASA called like the volcano like erupting. So like the volcano erupted,
actually erupted under the ocean.
Yeah, it erupted under the ocean. And they caught this eruption through their system. But because of this eruption, that means that the sharks don't no longer have a home, right?
Oh.
So that means that the sharks are like swimming like freely in the waters.
So you're telling me I already am scared of the ocean, right? Because I hate if I'm in the ocean. I'm, like, for example, like I honestly don't understand how. Well, I understand why they do it, but like if you're a surfer, yeah, and you already have to worry about you can't see under you because you know some of them are murky and all that, and you have to worry about sharks. Now you have to worry about mutant sharks underneath you. Like I can't like just.
No, like I like whenever I go to the beach or anything, like I don't even go like past like my waist. Like I just like
I have a limit once I go to the beach.
I have a limit once it goes up to here. Like I'm done. Like I'm not going any.
It's not only that, because like if you go to the beach, you know about road waves, right?
No.
So I think it's called a road wave, or like or road wave or something else. So essentially, what happens is a wave. It's like a hard wave, or like the what do you call it? Like the not the wave, the current. There you go, the current.
Yeah.
The current pulls you. So there's like on your sides, like the waves are hitting you, but like in the middle, like the current pulls you out to the ocean. And so what happens is, since people don't really know how to react to it, they fight the current. And so when they're fighting the current, eventually they get tired and the current pulls them into the ocean. Yeah. So the only way to, like, I guess you can say, I think it's called rogue wave or something like that. The only way to survive is if you let the current pull you and swim sideways. That's the only way to, I guess, survive, or because you're not going to get tired because you're going to let the current pull you and then swim sideways. That's how you get away from the rogue wave. Or from that situations like that. But now I gotta worry, like I said, now I gotta worry about mini sharks.
Like this gives me like another reason to not go to like that deeper inside.
And not only that, like for example, like one of the sharks you give out, like hammerhead sharks are pretty big. They're like 11 feet, 10 feet.
Yeah.
It's pretty, and they have really sharp teeth and tear you up like nothing. But
also the weird thing is that like sharks, they also like they have a very low like mutation rate. So like think about it, like they have a very low rate, but all of a sudden like they just mutated because of this volcano. Like they just adapted, and now they're roaming freely in like the oceans, and like
watch in a couple of weeks or next year, we're gonna see the first mutated sharks movie come out or something like that.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Have you heard of the drones over New Jersey?
I've like heard people talk about it on TikTok, but like
because currently right now it's going viral. So like on TikTok, the news and all that. So essentially what's going on is that there's been sightings of drones, and these are not normal drones, like, you know, your typical like person has, like small ones. These are like, I guess they were saying that SUV like car size drones.
Car size?
Yeah, car size. That's what they were saying. SUV car size drones that are coming out on. So apparently they started the seeing these come out like around mid-November. So maybe after like Thanksgiving, they were seeing them come up, and where they're coming up from is the ocean. According to reports, that they're coming from the ocean, and they only come out at night. They don't come out at day. So, like, for example, like they're like whenever in New Jersey, they're coming out between like 7 and all the way into midnight and stuff like that. And that they're like just like kind of like patrolling, or I don't know how to describe it. Like they're just, and it's not just one. It's like
no, it's multiple.
It's not a swarm, but like it's like more than a handful. But like I said, they're like SUV sized, and they're just going around. And then this is what I don't understand. The government is like, we don't know what they, like, for example, they had a hearing with like the FBI and like CIA, the three-letter main corporations, agencies for the US. And they were talking to like the senator and all that, and the mayor. They're like, yeah, we don't know what these are. I'm like, look, first of all, if you know what those are, you're not shutting them down. That's one.
Yeah, that's like
a second weird. Is, I don't know if you know what the FAA is. So FAA is pretty much the people in charge of like the airplanes being up to code, and like pretty much air traffic control, make sure everything that's in flight within the United States is up to code, and like all the safety protocols are in place. So come to find out, these drones are FAA not certified, but they're like, I guess you say approved because of the lights they have. Because you know how in airplanes they have red, green, and they flash? These drones have that. So that's why, in my opinion, I think if they have the same colors as the airplanes and all that, and those airplanes that have those colors are FAA certified, I'm pretty sure they have some knowledge of, you know, because they're meeting the requirements. And not only that, like obviously if you're doing this, you're not telling nobody. I think they also have no fly zones where you can't fly to it. Oh, and also so like citizens in New Jersey have their own drones. Obviously they're getting regular citizens, they're taking their own drones up there, and as soon as they get close to it, like their battery drains, like the battery of the citizens drones just drains, and it just goes down. Yeah, so that obviously. And then what's really sus as well is that all the people who have videos, like the videos are all blurry and all that. They're never like nice because they can't get too close, because if they get too close, they just like the battery just dies. But like I said, imagine like you're out there in New Jersey, like running or a mile or something, or just walking down the sidewalk, and next thing you know, look up, and it's a big SUV drone.
But like, how does the government not know anything about these?
That's what I'm saying.
And why are they like letting them like just like fly freely? Like,
so I have a video that I'm going to show you, and I think this is the reason why. Because it doesn't make sense. You're telling me the United States of America, and you don't know what these drones are, and they're not just on the coast. They're like all over New Jersey. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you have to know, and you're not doing anything about it. That means what they're using the drones for, or what the drones are trying to find, or they're like looking for, is something big that they don't want to tell the public. Because it makes sense, you know what I mean? Like if you know something, you're trying to investigate it more from a certain distance, like using drones. Yeah. But you don't want to tell the public, because what happens if you tell the public a certain thing that's gonna go bad, that's gonna happen, that's bad, or that's in the process of being bad? What happens to the public? They all panic, and next thing you know, they all like run through the supermarkets and everything, and just cause panic, right? And so in this video, before I show you, I'm going to tell you this. I think the reason this video shows it as well. This video, essentially what happens is there's just two drones in the video. One, there's orbs. So now there's orbs, like lights, right? And so this is the reason why I think that the drones are there. The drones are there to observe and document the orbs. So like an orb is just like a light in the sky, but the orbs are like moving, or they have like certain characteristics that don't make any sense. So first we started with the drones. Now it's
So you're telling me that those drones follow these orbs to like
follow them, or like they're like checking them out, like, hey, what is it? I mean, this is my opinion, but this video shows you pretty much what you got to know. So look at this video. So look, that there's one drone right there, and now look at the lights. You see how green, red is flashing and all that? Yeah. Oh, look, you're gonna see the orb in a bit. So it's obviously just flying. You see the orb?
Bro,
So there's a light. So those are
that?
orbs, and that's in the middle of the sky. That's not a plane. That's nothing. Look, right. It's getting close. You see the other drone on the bottom, and it's getting closer and closer. Right, closer and closer, and then eventually, it's gonna get to a point where it gets right next to it and on it, and then you see the drone just go down. Like, I don't know if they got shot down or if it touched it or something, but that's the reason why I think the drones are there. And the government is using the drones in order to track these, I don't know if you want to call it UAPs, UFOs, or whatever. But now you're going to see right now in the video, it's going to be right on top of it, and eventually it is going to be on it. Watch. So it's going to go right into it. Right into it, and then all of a sudden, it like, I don't know if it like got shot or something happened. Look at that. The drone just goes down. Like if it got shot or it got burned or something. That's why I think the reason the drones are being used, it's government, and they're using them to look at the, like, what is this? Like, we don't know what it is. And instead of telling people what it is, they're trying to like just keep it low key, you know?
So these drones are basically for aliens. Is what you're talking about.
Or something that's going, we don't know. I don't want to say aliens or I don't know, UFOs, whatever you want to call it. But I think this is the this is the reason why the U.S. is not telling us, because
they don't know about it.
They don't know anything. Like, they don't know what's going on. Or if they do, they don't want to tell the public, and the public like panics. You know.
That I did not know that.
So the orbs are, I think, recent. So or another thing that I was also thinking is like maybe like radiation levels are high, or like I don't know, like. Because that makes sense. But
if radiation levels were high, wouldn't like the the drones get also?
There's certain citizens from New Jersey here that they see the drones drop something like dust or something. I don't know what's going on.
What is going on in New Jersey? But not only
that, there's also, as of today or yesterday, there's reports of drones being in other states as well. But the main areas are over New Jersey, and also, not just New Jersey, but over really sensitive military bases, like Air Force Base, like Army Base and stuff like that. But as of today, and then I think yesterday as well, there's more report. I think they were saying they're in Texas now. And then they were also here in California, like in the South, like San Diego or something like that. But that's what I think it's going on. I think they're using the drones for the UAPs or the orbs. You think so?
I think it's aliens. Like, what other thing would like be in the air like that?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out soon.
That's if they tell us or anything. If the government.
I feel like if they do tell us, they're going to tell us a little bit of something, but not like too specific.
Yeah. So, have you heard of MK Ultra?
No, I haven't.
So basically, MK Ultra was like a project by the CIA that was made during the Cold War. So think about it. Like the Cold War was was from 1950s to the 1970s, right? But basically, during this time, the U.S. government feared that the Soviet, the Chinese, and the North Korea were using like brainwashing to torture U.S. prisoners of war, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because the U.S. like feared this was happening, they were like, you know what, we gotta do something in response. So basically, they made this Project MK Ultra, to like see if they can develop any techniques that they could use on like Soviet enemies.
So essentially, what you're saying is the U.S. maybe didn't find out, or they were probably thinking that the Russia or like North Korea or other foreign countries were using this against on U.S. prisoners. Mm-hmm. So they were like, well, we got to keep up with them. We can't just let them take advantage of this. Maybe not technology, but this, this whole thing. Yeah,
like they had to find a way to like fight back. Basically.
And they don't fight back or don't fall behind on this idea.
And basically, they developed these like techniques through like drugs and like psychological like manipulators, which is like pretty crazy. And like there was a lot of like components to this project, but one of the first like projects was like using LSD and other drugs. So basically they first started by using LSD, heroin, MDMA, which is like ecstasy, right? Mm-hmm. They also used methamphetamine, or what is it?
Methamphetamine?
Methamphetamine. They use methamphetamine and like other like drugs, right? And they basically like they conducted these studies at like universities. So from what I was reading, it was like Columbia University, Stanford University.
So I'm pretty sure all the top Ivy schools or top schools in the US.
Like private Ivy schools were like where these studies were like happening at.
Oh wow.
And they basically like they use these drugs because they thought that these drugs were able to like use for brainwashing and like psychological torture, which is like pretty crazy.
Because like the thing is, obviously physical torture, that's horrible. But imagine like you're in your mind, like you're gonna probably like, go insane, crazy, or you might do things you wouldn't usually do. You know what I mean? Because now you're in your mind.
Yeah, but then like later, like throughout the project, they like kind of stopped doing them because they found out that like the results they weren't really like predictable, so they couldn't use the results in the study to come
to a conclusion or like a result that okay, this is what happens with the drugs.
Yeah. So basically, they kind of stopped doing that study, but they did another component of like the project was Operation Midnight Climax, which was when basically they would hire like prostitutes and they would kind of be like spies, and they would like lure in random men to these like CIA safe houses, and then they would basically give them like laced cocktails with drugs.
So essentially, they were prostitutes lured up, or CIA agents, what do you even call them? They lured them in, men obviously, to these safe houses, which obviously I'm assuming there was cameras.
No, like they had like recording devices in the room, and what's funny is like they also had a two-way mirror.
Bruh, they had two-way mirrors.
So basically, the CIA was on one side telling the prostitute what to do and everything, and then the prostitute and the guy were like on the other side.
Imagine being the guy on the other side of the mirror or the window, whatever, and then you're like, gotta see the whole thing.
Yeah, like it's just like pretty like awkward.
That's like a live experiment. You're doing it, and then obviously the guy has no idea.
You're experimenting on a human that that did not give consent. Like this is just a random.
Obviously, yeah, they're drugged up, guy. And you're just waiting to see what happens if they go crazy and all that. And then not only that, but like obviously that's cruel and obviously like, not humane, because you're drugging somebody who doesn't even know they're being experimented on. On top of that, like I'm pretty sure there was like some experience with certain men where like the men lost it or like they got crazy because like I said, it's experiment, so you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure like I don't know, maybe they threatened the prostitute and then like I said, they didn't know there was a CIA agent or whatever, and they probably went missing or got murdered. You know what I mean? Like you never know what's gonna happen with an experiment like that or how the men are gonna react because they can, like I said, they can go crazy or they can do something like the CIA does, like, oh, you know what, they did this, so we're gonna, and it's the CIA, so if they want to whack you, they're just gonna whack you.
Yeah. And then like the first component, like the cocktails were of course laced, but like they didn't really find anything from like doing this from like these experiments. So they just like. So you're
telling me they did two different types of experiments with drugs?
Yeah, they didn't get much results. So it's like, wait,
doing it? So they did all this just to find out in both their different experiments that there wasn't really qualified results.
Yeah, they couldn't really like find anything to use for like brainwashing or like psychological torture. Like they just didn't.
Imagine like going through all that. You're getting drugged. Obviously, you think it's a prostitute, but it's a CIA agent, and then you just wake up and like. Go home like nothing happened, not knowing that there's somebody on the side of the window or mirror looking at you.
But like also think about like the consequences that can happen because of this. Like imagine like what if like one of those men like really got crazy and like something really like bad happened to him. Like you wouldn't know because the CIA would be like covering it up.
But I'm pretty sure like if that happens, like I said, they'll probably whack him and say, or they'll probably make it seem like it's an accident because it's the CIA or. If it's the CIA, they're probably like, oh, he's just going crazy.
And speaking of that, the other thing about this like project was that there was this like scientist working with this project, right? And he worked for the CIA, and his name was Frank Olson. So basically, one day he accidentally drank one of these cocktails.
Oh, bruh!
The cocktail was laced with LSD. So
so that guy was on.
So like this guy was like going through it, and then he was like going crazy. They were saying, but then what's weird is that a few days later, he like fell from this window and then he died.
Oh, of course.
But then a lot of people were saying that like, oh, it's suicide. It's suicide. Like he just fell. But the family was like, you know what? Like, I don't believe this. Like,
No.
give me a second autopsy, and then like, I'll see what.
First of all, like obviously, you know, he died, right? So
Yeah.
respect to him and all that, right? But like, how do you're one of the people in charge, well, not in charge, but like doing this.
Yeah.
And you're not like watching what you drink. Obviously, if I'm in a situation like that, I'm not drinking nothing y'all give me. I'm not, because you never know what's laced or not.
Yeah.
But it was an accident, and not only that, that's what I'm saying. The CIA can just take you out, make you look like an accident.
You know what's weird is that, like, for the second autopsy, they found that like, he had like injuries before his fall. So people were like saying that like, are these injuries like from the CIA?
So
and they were like, you know, probably
so he was probably like, what happened was he was probably like tortured, or hey, if you say something, this is gonna happen. But at the end of the day, like, he's a loose end. Yeah. So let's just say if you let him walk and he starts talking, and mind you, obviously the first thing the CIA is, nobody has to know about this project. Definitely. And then that's the thing. It shows how like much they'll go above and beyond. Like, say we'll whack their own guy, just to make sure it's not like nobody knows about it. You know what I mean? And then after the second autopsy, it was like, I don't know, like years later or months later, or I think it was like months or years later. The CIA like gave a settlement to the family, and you know what? Even the president like apologized publicly about it, which is like pretty weird. Wait, so the president physically apologized? I think it was like President like Ford or something like that. So he physically, like a video or something. Yeah, he like publicly like apologized, like sorry. So for this. That's really sus. I mean, I think that by itself says that it was not an accident and that he got whacked, because I'm pretty sure what happened was that the president read what was going on the project. And he said, and he probably like saw that his own guy got whacked on his side because it was like a mess up or whatever. Yeah. And he felt probably terrible and horrible. Like, dude, how do you, obviously one, it's messed up to like do that to somebody. Second of all, you're doing it to your own, well, you didn't physically do it to your own person, but your person faced the consequences because of the project, and they were affected. Not only that, now the same people that he works for whacked him. And now his family has to, you know. And then obviously you made it look like a CIA thing, which is an accident, like always. But they say it's not. So, do you think it's an accident? Dude, I feel because like I feel like because the CIA can get like they can like easily like get away with anything because they can do it exactly. I'm like and the power that they have. So like I just feel like if he had injuries, I'm like if like for example, like one, you have injuries before like your fall, whatever, right? Second, your fall was already like really sus. That's two sus things. Thirdly, the president felt so bad he came out and like apologized to the family. And not only that, you have a settlement for the CIA has a settlement with the family. Like, why would you feel bad if it wasn't your fault? Or why would you settle for a thing that's not your, like, you didn't cause it? Yeah, it's all like suspicious. And, no, in my opinion, I really think he got actually whacked by the CIA. Obviously, the CIA didn't want to, but they were like, a loose end is a loose end. I feel like they killed him on purpose, but they also did the experiment on him. For sure. Oh, wait. So you think they did it to their own guy? They did because the injuries, right? So they also like were trying to see like the psychological torture. So like I just feel like there's for some reason the CIA like try to do it on him, but so you think they actually try to do it on purpose? No, I think like by him accidentally drinking it, the CIA saw an opportunity to experiment it on him. And they did it, but then in the end, they like killed him to make it seem like an accident. Well, yeah, like I said, like if they usually like when you're involved with the CIA, and if you're a loose end, like you're done. They're part of the government. The government is like, hey, yo, this is against our government. If he comes somehow, China or Russia find out about him and they catch him, whatever. Now they know about our program, or a regular citizen knows about our program. So we're just gonna whack him. Yeah, it was all. I really think he got whacked. You think he got whacked? Yeah, I think he got whacked. Yeah. Thank you for watching the podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.